Hello, my name is Hernán Arriaga. I'm an interior designer and I'm here to speak about interior design. I left my country when I was 24 years old, and ever since then I became who I became through life because it was meant to be. And of course, in the process, there is a lot of phases to what Hernán Arriaga can do, because as I grow older and absorb more, my creativity grows and becomes better. But I always say that the way you were raised and the things that actually defined you from the very beginning of your life will carry along throughout your entire life. And my work has the warmth that it has because I grew up in a warm home with a warm family. And that expresses throughout all my work because you can see that integrity of my person within my work. I see it tremendously. I think it's one of my biggest signatures because, for me, it is essential to not only give a beautiful house to someone, but create a home that they will love for many years and will carry with them memories and things that will define that family that's about to live in that house. As you grow and absorb, of course, your creativity changes and your capacity to create actually not only grows, but also changes with it, in your time, in your life. A great part of my work has to do with my client's personality, who they are, what they like to do, how they like to live. Because for us, it's not only creating a beautiful home that is magical and flows from room to room and, color matching and making it picture perfect and all the things that you can imagine about a house. It is also about describing the family that lives in it, So, even though we have that talent that is embedded within us continuously, one of the biggest challenges that a designer faces in every single project is the capacity to adapt that talent to the family that's about to live in that home. It would only become a home if they fall in love with it. And the only reason for them to fall in love with it is if it describes not only their everyday life, but also who they are, who they became, what they do, as a family, and everything that has to do within their everyday life. So projects are very challenging because, people think that, designing a home is just, picking up beautiful pieces and putting them in a room and making them work. The truth is that you have to think about so much more, when you design a place. The connection between each room has to be established. The color theme you use, they have to flow perfectly, as you walk the place, because it is also about the magic that you generate when you begin walking and experiencing a room. It's not about seeing a beautiful piece, it's about the experience, and what you take with you when you leave that home. I always say that, that you did a good job if someone actually comes and after they leave, they keep talking and talking and talking and talking about that place. That really makes a successful job for us because they don't only remember what they saw, but also the magic that actually seduced them throughout the whole experience. All my projects are my babies, so every time I finish one, I always think that that's a special project because I fall in love with them in the process of making them. But through the years and after so long, I can say that the projects that really identified me as more comfortable using the line and perfectly describing my talent and the influence of Meridiani as its own, it is two of them. One of them is the 1000 Museum that we did together as a special project for the developers. It truly, really showed my creativity and my talent with everything that Meridiani has to offer as a company. And it flew from beginning to end. The flow was perfectly balanced from the moment you stepped in to the moment you left that place. And as you walk through the rooms, you can feel that magic of, not only creativity, but also taste, elegance, and so much more that actually describes a room when it's perfectly defined. Villa Positano was also one of my favorite projects to do with Meridiani because it showed a different side of the possibilities that you have to work with this company. One of them was 1000 Museum was a lot more contemporary and slick, and Villa Positano reflected a bit more of what a beach home should be, something next to the water, something warmer, a bit more transitional, but yet completely defined by elegance and incredible taste. Villa Positano was a very, very special project because, in America, we really don't get a lot of homes and architecture that actually describes the European style to perfection. Villa Positano did that. It has an incredible description of what a villa in Capri or Positano should be. The stucco walls, the size of the rooms, the height of the rooms, the views with the ocean. So what I immediately wanted to do after walking the property was to be inspired by those places of Italy. Therefore, I immediately related to the Riva style, which is also born in Italy in the mid-centuries. The use of the colors was definitely described by that style, which is a lot of whites and blues throughout the entire property. But the comfort of the design, the elegance that it shows, the perfect description of quality and warmth and inviting and a home has been achieved not only for my talent and the way I actually was able to describe and read each of those rooms, but also by the comfort and the warmth that you see in Meridiani when it comes to projects like this one, special projects. The house went from being an ordinary home to being an ordinary house to being an extraordinary home. And to me, that makes a huge difference. Every collection of Meridiani, every time it comes up with a new proposal, I always get inspired. Every time I see a new product of it, like last year, this year alone, when I came back from Milan and I saw the new pieces, I came back wanting to use them again because they're so yummy, reachable, and they seduce you to the moment that you really want to make them a part of your work and your creativity. So yes, every time I see something new of Meridiani, I get immediately inspired and I feel like the urge of begin using it. The definition of character, it's definitely Meridiani as one of the strongest items it has to define the company. I love the way that it really embellishes a room as you place one piece and really makes it look tremendously beautiful. So it inspires me continuously. Following up Meridiani for so long has taught me so much about not only high-end design, but also what a special piece means and the value that it has within my work. For a regular person, an ordinary person, when they come and they look at all this furniture without the knowledge we have, all these pieces are just pieces. A chair is a chair, a sofa is a sofa. To me, each piece is a sculpture. And that's the difference. Every one of these pieces have had so much thinking behind it while it was being created that they do become sculptures. They're pieces of art. And that's the difference between a great piece of furniture and an ordinary one. Each of these companies that really stand out in the world have their own character. Meridiani definitely has its own DNA, for sure. You can see a piece from today. I can see a piece from far, and I, immediately identify it as Meridiani. I love the textures that they use, the depth in each of their pieces, the comfort that actually defines the company as you sit in a couch or in a chair. and also the way that embellishes its nature of each of those pieces individually and make them special from beginning, from the first time you look at it.